Hi, I'm Ron, and I'm going to tell you a story, a boring story, about Bob and Sally. They're a young couple that live in a one-bedroom house with a one-car garage. Bob has an associate's degree. Well, not quite. He's a few hours short of his associate's degree in accounting. And Sally has her associate's degree in early childhood development. When Bob and Sally get up in the morning, Bob wakes up to the sound of the water heater coming on. The water heater is near the bedroom, and it comes on at about 6:15 every morning. When Bob wakes up, he puts on his slippers and he walks over to the kitchen with his pajamas on, and he pulls out 3 small plates from the cupboard. These plates are used for toast. He takes the plates out, puts them in a row, 1, 2, 3 plates, and he smiles to himself, knowing he has 3 plates. Then he goes to the kitchen drawer where all the silverware is, and he pulls out 2 knives. And he puts a knife on the first plate and the second plate, and he doesn't have a knife for the third plate. And he looks down at his little chore, and he says to himself, "Job well done," and walks to the bathroom to take a shower. As the shower starts, Sally wakes up. And Sally puts on her slippers, and she's got her nightgown on and her house coat, because it's chilly in the morning sometimes in their house. And she scurries to the kitchen, and she looks down at the kitchen counter where she sees 3 plates and 2 knives. And she opens the bread box, and she pulls out 2 pieces of white bread. And she puts the bread in the toaster, just so. And she dials up how brown she wants her bread, just a little below medium. And then she pushes the button down on the toaster. The bread disappears into the red lights as they start glowing. And she says to herself, "I wonder if I can make my magic trick work this morning." Well, her magic trick is putting her hand about 6 inches over the toaster and feeling the heat of the toaster come off from the heating coils. As her hand gets warmer and warmer and warmer, it reaches a point where she knows the toast should probably be heated just right and browned just right. And this morning, she's so excited. Her hand is getting warm, but it seems like it's getting warmer and warmer, faster and faster. And she pulls her hand away a little too soon, and then the toast pops up. Imagine if she had pulled her hand away just at the moment the toast had gotten brown enough, it would have looked like, magically, she popped it out of the toaster. She was a little disappointed that her trick didn't work. So what she did was put on a happy face for her husband, who had just finished taking a 3-minute shower. He always takes a 3-minute shower. and he towels off. And by the time he's done taking his shower and toweling off, whether he's clean or not, it's 3 minutes. He towels off. He walks back into the kitchen, and he sees his wife, Sally, standing in front of the toaster with 2 pieces of toast, 3 plates, 2 knives. She takes the toast out of the toaster and puts it on one single plate. The plate, that's for the toast only. She then turns around, smiles at her husband. He smiles back, and he sits down at the breakfast table, which is really a dining room table. Their kitchen is too small for its own table. And as he sits down, he waits for his wife to bring the plates and the food and the knives to the table. She looks him over, making sure that she can do this. But she remembers, we need butter. So she gets the butter. She takes the lid off the butter. And she gets into the kitchen. She gets into the kitchen drawer and pulls out a real butter knife. She's very pleased that she remembered to get the real butter knife out. And she puts the real butter knife on the butter plate. And she takes the plate and the butter plate, or the plate of toast and the butter plate in one hand. And she takes the 2 knives and the other 2 plates in another hand. And somehow, with deft dexterity, she walks these into the dining room, places them on the table, and then sets the morning breakfast table for her and Bob. She puts a plate in front of her chair and a knife. She puts a plate and a knife in front of Bob's chair. The toast and the butter is between the 2 of them. Bob says, I think you're forgetting one thing. And she looks at everything and she says, oh, I forgot the water. And Bob at the very time says, you forgot the water. And they have a little chuckle because they say it at the same time. She walks back to the kitchen, opens the cupboard, gets 2 6-ounce glasses out of the cupboard, fills them each with 5 ounces of water, walks them back to the table, 1 in each hand, sets them down, walks back to the kitchen, turns the faucet off, and then walks back to the table again to eat. Sally gets to butter her toast first. Bob butters his second. Please join me next time when Bob and Sally get mail. And they're going to go to the mall and visit the Sears store. Thanks very much. See you then.